day one of supplemental learning. And also wear your hat to work today, day at our house. And I wanted to have a little chat about supplemental learning after my experience of trying to help my sweet little bundles of joy today with math. And so it started with this. It started with the question, Mom, I don't know how to do this. I'm going to try not to out which child this is, but I'll probably fail. Anyway, I don't know what to do. So I look at the question, and it's a question where you have to make each side of the equation equal and say how many tens and how many ones it takes to make the number. So the number is 538 equals blank tens plus 8 ones. And this child of mine put in 30 tens and 8 ones, and the answer came up wrong. And this child of mine said, I just don't get it. And so I very calmly said, okay, honey, how many tens does it take to make 530? And she, oh, I did it. And this child does this. 800? So I say, I think I just need to get a glass of water, and I walk away, and in my head I'm thinking, how does this child not understand grade 2 math? This child knows math, not this math. This child has done this math. And so I say, honey, why don't you just skip that question, work ahead, and I figure I'm going to go help the second child who says to me, Mom, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here. And so he's doing grade 2 math, grade 3 math, and I have to translate it from French. And the question is, draw an axis of symmetry in this shape. I don't know, Google Translate was kind of weird. And I'm thinking, I don't have a clue what I'm supposed to do with this. How do I not understand grade 3 math? I passed grade 3 math, and I passed high school math, and I have a university degree. How can I not explain grade 3 math? And so it was an excellent reminder to me about the brain states. And so I wanted to go on and just touch base about the brain states. This is going to be really helpful if you're a parent and you're trying to teach your children, not even teach your children, just remind your children how to do the math that they already know. So there's 3 brain states that we all go into, and the three names that I use are the reptilian brain, the mammal brain, and the human brain. They're called other things by different people, but let's start with the reptilian brain state. So the reptilian brain state, it's like your basic brain. It's your survival brain. Sometimes people call it the basement brain, and it is your instinct. It is all about survival. So when you're in that state, math is not anywhere on the table. You're just worried about surviving. So fight, flight, freeze. The next brain state is your mammal brain, and this is your limbic brain or your emotional brain. This is where we see with kids and adults, like my host today, they are whiny or cranky or easily frustrated or really silly, or they're kind of in this weird emotional dysregulation, and that's the limbic brain. And I think everybody in my house today was in the limbic brain. Anyway, the third state, or the third brain state, is your human brain, also called the neocortex or the upstairs brain. And it is where all the learning happens and all the problem solving, and it's where the memory is stored. So it's where you remember where grade 3 math is. It's where you remember your multiplication tables. It's where you remember where and there, how to do all those spelling things for those grammar words. See, I'm still not even in my human brain. I'm going to take a deep breath. Upstairs brain, reasoning, logic. That's where we want to be for learning. And I think right now, especially in my house, because everything is up in the air and we're getting into a routine, but everything is so new, we are not in our human brains. And so we can't access that information that we've already learned before, even if it's easy. My kids can't do it. I can't do it. I can hardly remember anything. And also I'm trying to work from home, and I'm trying to learn new things, like how to set up Google Meet and how to unpassword protect or password protect a Zoom meeting. And so it is not easy when you're not in your human brain. And so the best thing to do, I think, is just to look at supplemental learning as not new learning, as not a time for learning anything new. It's a time for maybe reviewing some easy stuff and getting into a state where you're like, okay, this is just, we've done this before. Getting into a bit of a routine where the brain starts to relax and starts to say, oh, I've done this before. And then it starts to come online. When I think about kids and when they go to school, sorry, I'm in the car and the sun is going down and it's doing weird things. No, that's not any better. Anyway, when I think about when kids go to school and they start their day and they're excited to see their friends, this is the majority of kids, not children who find school stressful or have anxiety around school or food insecure or those sorts of things. But our kids that love going to school and seeing their friends and playing with their friends, as they're playing their morning recess and they're laughing and they're joking and they're screwing around, they're actually releasing chemicals and hormones throughout the brain and body that are the feel-good hormones that actually open up the center of learnings. It basically primes the brain for learning new things. And that helps, right? Right now we're in our home and we just get up and there's no like priming of the brain with fun and something to look forward to and laughing and joking, because it's like, oh my God, this is Groundhog's Day. Here we go again. Let's try and figure this stuff out. So what I needed to remind myself, and what I'm hoping will be a reminder for you, is that if the learning is hard, or even the remembering is hard, it's likely because our prefrontal cortex, our human brain, is kind of offline. We're in this emotional limbic state where we're just trying to help things feel normal. And I think once things start feeling a little bit more normal in this weird, freakish time, our human brains will come online and the learning will be a little bit easier. So I wrote down the 4 things that I want you to remember, and as a good reminder for me, I had to write it down because I'm not in my human brain where I remember things. So, parents, if you can remember this week and maybe the first week after Easter break, I think it's going to be helpful. And that is, if you're feeling frustrated because your child doesn't seem to know something that you know they know, it's probably because they're not in their human brain, and just let it go. The info is in there somewhere. They probably just can't get to it. And if you are trying to figure out something that you think you probably should know because you've done it before and you just can't figure it out and you're getting frustrated with yourself, the info is in there somewhere. You just can't probably get to it right now. So yeah, cut yourself some slack if you can't figure out grade 3 math. It is okay. That sun is bright. And then a reminder for teachers. Teachers, if you're stressing out about creating some amazing, brilliant new content that's keeping everybody on their toes, don't stress about it. Now is not the time for learning new concepts, at least in this next couple weeks. Now is the time, I think, for just reviewing some basic fundamental concepts, some things that you've learned before. It'll give everyone a little feel-good time where they're like, yeah, I know this, I got this. And then when they are in a more, I don't want to say organized state, but when things maybe settle out, or when we as people have gotten used to this new way of being, then maybe some new learning can come in. Number 3 for kids, and I think all humans, we move into our human brain through fun things and laughter and humor and smiling and feeling safe and play, enjoying life. So the more of those fun things that we can add in before we start trying to do the not so fun things of supplemental learning, potentially, the more the brain will be primed. And it's not just laughter and fun things in isolation. It's laughter and play and joking and screwing around and with each other, like with being silly with each other, that is going to help prime the brain for being more in our human brain. And that's what I believe. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This is 12 minutes long. I really think we're learning enough right now. I think we're learning about patience and resiliency and the weird quirks that our people that live with us develop when they're stuck at home. We're learning how to pause and maybe not say the thing that we want to say because we are frustrated and angry, and we're learning how to walk away from the numeracy questions, and we're learning lots of other stuff. So if we aren't learning new academic concepts and our children aren't, that's okay. We're just trying to figure out Zoom and Google Meetup right now, and how to keep the background people quiet so they don't hear us yelling while one of our children is online. Mute the microphone. Okay, so I hope you can all find ways to get into your human brain at some point. If not, I'm hanging out in my limbic brain, and it's all right. I am going to try and post my favorite handout picture on the brain states. I've done it before, but as I've said before, I'm not in my human brain, so I might not be able to do it just now. And I'm also going to set up a link, or include a link to one of my favorite little videos about teaching math. And it's like super short, and it's hilarious, and every second of it is true. So hang in there, teachers and parents and children and people who are supporting teachers and parents and kids. And yeah, enjoy your Monday, what's left of it.